If you're a business owner and you've just returned back to work and you've got great plans for your business for 2019, then this interview with Rob Dorey will be of interest to you. We're going to talk today about getting a business assessment done to start the year off. So before we get into it, Rob, can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Yeah, I'm a partner in an SME business advisory consultancy, and I'm a consultant myself. And what we do is we work with business owners, figuring out where their business at, where it can go, and then helping them take the business essentially to the next level, working off the foundation and the base that currently exists in their business.
So why is a business assessment so important?
The trick in this game is always getting clarity on where you're at and getting clarity on the options to go to the next level. And what we've got is a tool that we use to support. So it's not just sit down and have a chat. There's a full set of full questionnaire and full set of tools that we use in addition to what we glean from the conversations as well. But the idea is to get clarity on where it's at and where it can go and how it can get there, and ideally, what some of the roadblocks are. So, that's the process, and that's how we do it. And it's a great investment of time and a great investment of money on the business owners that are serious about doing something about moving the business to the next level.
So the other day I was out with you. You were doing a business assessment with one of your clients, and I was listening in, and you explained it by describing it as an overlay on top of the business in different modules. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, the trick in this game is we need to make things simpler, not more complex. So, we can get ourselves tied into knots. But the way we do that is we actually apply a model. And so we look at a business from 7 perspectives. First one is business vision, and don't want to read anything more into that. It's not a big, glamorous, highfalutin statement. It's just, where do you think this business can go in a 3 to 5 year time frame? If you've got $1 million business, is it 1.2, 1.5, 3 million, 5 million? What is it? And then once we get clarity on where the options are, and we determine get a sense of what the target is. So say if it's 1 million and we want to be 5, that will lead to a certain type of strategy based on the business it is. And then in the second part, that's the strategic part. In the second part, there's 5 looks at the business. The first one is product and service. So the business will have a product and service offering that got it to $1 million. What is that? Is that the same as what you need to get to the 5 million? Or do you add things to it? Or do you take one part of your service offering and radically expand it? But that's a product and service thing. Once you're clear on the product and service to support the strategy, sales and marketing, and how do you make that support what you're trying to do with the strategy? And then invariably, the businesses we work with are about growth. Growth involves people. So in the people, which is the third dimension that we look at, what are the required skills? Where are you currently at? What sort of resources do you require to build, in this case, a $5 million sustainable business? And that's the people. System and process at $1 million is a certain, you can get by with a certain thing, but the $5 million business is going to be different than the 1 million. So what are the system and process you need? What are your shortcomings? And then the final one is finance and reporting. So, everything that we do is driven by reporting, clear, simple targets, and keeping track over time of where you're going. So taking that to a high level, the business assessment doesn't drill you through all that, but it gives you a very good overview of where you're at, what the opportunities are, and what's involved in taking your business to the next level.
So how long does a business assessment take?
Again, depending on the complexity of the business, in this case, if it's myself and a business owner, it's probably the equivalent of a couple of days, maybe 3 sessions that we would go through. The third session would be the report back. You get an actual fairly detailed written report, but that report is accompanied by a one-on-one conversation to take you through what we learned and the view that is determined from the report. If the business is more complex, that could be 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 sessions, something like that. So it's a little, it's driven a bit by the complexity of the business.
So once a business owner has their business assessment, is there any obligation to go forward with you, or it can?
No, it's a fixed price. So in our case, if you look at our business, it's a product. It's a service that we provide to business owners. So we tend to do it on a fixed price basis. So rather than hourly or anything like that. If it's a smaller business, it would be $2,000. If it's a bigger, more complex business, it would be $4,000 or somewhere in between. So it's fixed price. You know what you're getting. There's no obligation beyond that. So it's investment of your time and some of your money and my time to go and use our tools to give you a good insight into where you're at and where you're going.
Great. So how do they go about getting a business assessment?
It's a matter of making the initial contact. The initial contact could be a phone call, could be an initial meeting to go through and better explain how the process works. But it really comes back to the business owner to initiate a next step. Say, I'm interested, and it rolls from there.
Okay. So wherever you're watching this video, it might be on YouTube, it might be on Facebook, could be LinkedIn. There should be a link directly underneath the video that you can click on and go through to a page where you can make contact with Rob and just get the ball rolling. So Rob, that was very interesting. Thank you very much for that. And if you are a business owner and you are serious about getting your business growth in 2019, then Rob will be the man to see. Thanks, Rob. Have a great 2019.
Very good, Craig, and thank you.